Thank you very much.
I agree. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Or you have been watching Melania Trump. She's getting an earful from those at this facility, actually 2 hours away from the U.S. border. I think I had said mistakenly before she was right at the U.S. border near Tucson, Arizona. This is a facility, and it's the first place individuals, parents and kids together, not separated. They're brought immediately after detention at the border, but it did include a 6-year-old boy who was wandering on his own in Mexico and right along the border, and authorities picked him up. He is now at that same, or was at that same facility. I didn't quite hear whether he has since moved on or gone somewhere else. But from those that Melania Trump had a chance to listen to here, she's going to see firsthand how the various agencies involved, including our marshals and our agents on patrol, and no ICE officials per se, how that is being handled at this particular facility, a very different facility than the one she visited a little over a week ago. But again, the same thrust and the same intent behind her visit, to see for herself as a mom how families are treated, in this case, children and their parents, or those who are deemed to be their parents. One agent, I think, said something to the effect that some of these kids have no connection to the adults with them, that it's still early. They're still parsing all of that out. You might remember separately there's an effort on the part of a judge who's demanded that those kids who were separated from their parents be reunited in 30 days. That was a few days ago. But then again, this is not that facility for that. Let's get the read on this, because it occurs that when Melania Trump is doing this, her husband is quite a ways north in Wisconsin, commemorating the opening of a Foxconn plant that's going to employ thousands, but as a sort of a 1-2 Trump family punch here. The read from Media Research Director Rich Noyes. We got Gianno Caldwell back with us, and National Review columnist Katherine Timpf. Gianno, what do you make of all this?
You know what? President Trump has pretty much had a hard line when it comes to immigration, and I thought that her presence for a lot of people softened what immigration really means. It seems as though she cared about the children coming in, and I think that's an approach that we definitely need to see in this country. There's so many people concerned with what's going on, the tearing apart of families, and it's good to have a representative of the Trump administration who really does provide a softening presence to this issue.
You know, Kat, this happens as these protests are going on, I believe, in Portland, to shut down ICE, to get rid of it. We don't need it. A number of extreme candidates who have won in crucial races, including this 28-year-old woman who took down Joe Crowley, has been a big advocate for just getting ICE out. What do you make of all this?
Basically, it seems as though no matter what President Trump does, there's some people on the left who are going to say, okay, this is bad because Trump's doing it. This isn't going far enough because we have this idea that Trump is anti-immigration. After he signed that executive order saying that families should not be separated, that was the exact same policy as President Obama had. We didn't see all this outrage then. We didn't see people trying to completely abolish ICE then. So I think that this is just that Trump, a lot of people go against whatever he says and whatever he does, and they think that needs to be taken a step further, regardless of whether or not it was the same thing that happened under President Obama.
And we should stress with Melania Trump, this is not an ICE facility per se she's visiting. But, Rich, it has been a real black eye for Republicans, whether they like it or not. It's not been portrayed well in the media. And it's an issue that from which they can't seem to escape, even though, to all of Kat's points, I mean, and what we've heard before as well from Gianno, that no matter how they put a different face on it, it doesn't seem to work. Why is that?
Well, you know, the media are not going to say that President Trump has turned and suddenly has a softer, nicer, kinder, gentler immigration policy. But what they are doing is they're beginning to turn on to other topics. I mean, this dominated the news last week. It was about half of the evening newscasts, excluding commercials. This week it's not. This week there's other topics. So the coverage on this issue isn't as severe as it was last week, but now you have the Supreme Court. Now you have other issues. Now you have an upcoming summit with Vladimir Putin. This is going to get sort of mixed back into the bag of other issues going on, and that will blunt its effectiveness going on thereafter, unless there's another wave of coverage like there was last week.
Yeah, or another Supreme Court appointment. Guys, thank you all very much. I apologize for our brevity here, given the breaking news. And Melania Trump at this facility, and her husband at this Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin facility about to go up. It's a big undertaking. The president saying it's all because of the economic backdrop that he's providing. More to this.